When is the last time you actually had fun with your camera? I think that Fujifilm is onto something. These days we have a ton of options when it comes to choosing a camera system, and they're all really good in their own regards. I mean, nowadays we have so much going on. Technology is really driving the market. I mean, if you look at the resolution we have to work with nowadays and the autofocus systems, I mean, the ability to track a bird's eye at 30 frames per second is very impressive. Now, what I'm finding though is I wonder if all this technology, which is very exciting in its own regards, is kind of manufacturing the fun out of the actual camera itself. Now, working at the camera store is kind of a unique experience because we have a lot of customers come in and they're asking us, what cameras do we use? Now, it's interesting because I usually have an answer like I use the camera that's best applied for that particular kind of job. Is it a landscape job that requires high resolution, or is it a sports and action kind of scenario where I need high frame rates? All these different factors. So it's usually the right tool for the right job is what I say. I recently had a customer come in and ask a slight variation of the question of what's your favorite camera and lens combination. They asked me, in the last year, what have you reviewed that you really enjoyed shooting with? And my thoughts immediately turned to Fujifilm. Fuji has figured it out. They are all about fun on whatever level you want. Let's start with these two offerings from Fujifilm. This is the Fuji X1/2 and the Fuji Instax Wide, two cameras that I had the pleasure of reviewing earlier this year. Now, I shouldn't like these cameras. I mean, they're relatively inexpensive. The image quality is okay. It's not stellar, but why do I like these cameras so much, and why am I having so much fun with them? Well, if we take a look at the X1/2, it is a very small, tiny little camera with a 1-inch sensor to it. The image quality is decent. It's a weird kind of setup to it. I do like this film wind lever, and that whole experience that they're trying to sell to us is kind of working. I mean, it's a lot of fun to actually have something tactile to take the next photo with, and the whole experience of shooting the X1/2 and combining two photos together is pretty cool. I do like how they've implemented the rewind lever or the replay lever here. Instead of pushing a button, I just hold this lever down, show my previous image, and I'm good to go for the next one. They've really built in a really cool little camera. Now, I hope there's some improvements in the future. I do like the fact that it does have a flash, but it's an LED flash. If they put a proper flash in here, I think this camera would sell that much better. The other one that surprised me a lot is this camera here. This is the Instax Wide. Now, I've never really been a big fan of the instant photo thing. The whole consumable photos, I didn't really buy into it. And maybe part of it was the style of those cameras. This camera here has a much better style to it. It looks like an old 4x5 plate from a 4x5 camera. It feels good when wearing it over like this. Now, what I found with this camera was how enjoyable it was to actually shoot with. I mean, it was a point of conversation. People would come up to you and say, what's that you're holding on around your neck? What is this thing? But being able to work with this, I'm not expecting super amazing image quality out of it, but the fun level of this camera is off the charts. I mean, the fact that you have an old film winder lever here if you want to actually show your images and show them. But I love the fact that I can share a photo with somebody, an actual tactile print with a complete stranger on the street if I took their picture. Check this out, here you go. But I can also print off of my phone as well. It's a really impressive system, and I shouldn't like it as much as I do, but I find myself really enjoying and having a lot of fun. I can't help but smile when I'm shooting with these cameras. And part of it is I'm not expecting to get the best image quality out of it. And the people I'm showing the images to aren't expecting the best images out of it as well. They just want to have fun, and I find I have more smiles per picture with this style of camera than I do with some extremely high-end cameras. These two options from Fujifilm are really showing that Fujifilm is taking fun seriously and giving us a unique shooting experience. Now, if you want to step up your game, the Fujifilm X100 series has been extremely popular. I mean, this camera went viral this year. I mean, we could not get enough in stock, and it took months for us to fill up our back orders. Now, this camera steps up the image quality quite drastically. I mean, we do get an APS-C size sensor with a fixed 28mm f2 lens. The image quality out of this camera is fantastic, and the whole shooting experience is a lot of fun. I mean, this is a unique camera in the fact that it has a hybrid viewfinder. I have an optical viewfinder and a digital viewfinder at the flip of a switch. I have an articulating screen on the back, and all in this super classy looking image, right? I mean, people love being seen with this camera. It's a unique experience for Fujifilm. This camera is a lot of fun to work with, and obviously there is a market for a fixed focus lens like this. If we look at the history of this camera is incredibly popular with people. Now, when it comes to that next level of photography, you still want to have fun and take it up the next notch. Fujifilm surprised a bunch of people with the 100 RF. I mean, this camera is a 100 megapixel monstrosity. I mean, 100 megapixel medium format camera, that looks stunning. I mean, all CNC machine parts on here. The GFX 100 RF is that next level. I mean, we get a 100 megapixel image sensor on here. It's a medium format sensor, significantly bigger than you get with the APS-C size sensor, and bigger than full frame. matched up with this beautiful 28mm equivalent f4 lens that's producing stunningly sharp images with massive amounts of detail. But the whole experience of shooting with this camera is still a lot of fun. Because this camera has so much resolution, you have the ability to shoot in so many different aspect ratios, but they've implemented it really nicely. I mean, we have this dial in the back here that allows us to change our aspect ratio. And if we're shooting in JPEG, it's just fine. It's going to save it as that, but I still have the raw file to work with if I want to use the entire frame still. What I like about that is that it's a very serious camera producing amazing image quality, but it's still a very fun shooting experience. I mean, this is serious fun. The other thing about Fujifilm cameras in general is that they're one of the very few cameras that I actually care about the film profiles. I mean, Fujifilm's been making film for a long time, and they know their film stock really well. So the fact that I can shoot Reala or Acros in one of these cameras is a really cool shooting experience, and adds to that level of fun. Now, Fujifilm, of course, has many more options to choose from when it comes to their cameras. I've chosen cameras that have a fixed focal length, and I think that actually adds to that experience of shooting. It's a little more fun because you eliminate the need for different lenses, and you're forced to work with what they have and be creative with what the camera is. And what I'm finding on the market now is that cameras are really pushing all that technology, and it's great to be able to work with, but I think they've lost that level of excitement, that level of fun, and sort of curiosity when it comes to working with. I mean, yes, great, I can shoot massive frames per second, I can track birds, and I can track sports in action better than I ever have in the past. But is that what I want? Is that what I'm actually enjoying shooting with? And what I'm finding is that there's a lot of people out there who are getting some amazing photographs, but they're finding it's almost stressful when they go out and shooting. I mean, we've all been there when we've bought and stretched our budgets with a really big telephoto lens and found ourselves pretending that we're National Geographic photographers, hoping for the best. But are we actually having fun shooting that? You'll find when you start exploring the Fujifilm lineup how good these little cameras are. I mean, they certainly are not perfect, and the image quality isn't as good as it could be and as you might be used to if you're shooting with higher-end cameras. But I guarantee you'll be smiling and when you're working with these cameras. You'll have a lot of fun because the pressure there is to have fun, not to take yourself super seriously. That's where I think Fujifilm has really tapped into the market by providing a very unique shooting experience with some of their cameras, but also having a lot of fun with it. Fujifilm has a lineup of cameras that really keep the whole shooting experience enjoyable at whatever level you want. Now, I of course want to know what you guys think of Fujifilm's direction and how they're making cameras that are more enjoyable and a lot of fun to shoot with. And is there a camera recently that you've been shooting with that you found was a lot of fun and you didn't take as seriously? Make sure you leave comments down below. Follow us both on Instagram, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll catch you again next time. Hey, thanks for sticking around and watching this last episode of Fuji Put Fun Back into Photography. If you want to check out more recent content, click up here. And if you're a Canadian and want to support local, check out thecamerastore.com down here.